Thank you, Mr. Chair. AB 506 replaces an outdated and inconsistent causation test for determining a Class AA citation for a long-term care facility with a more current standard in determining negligence substantial factor. The Department of Public Health issues a Class AA after undergoing a thorough investigation of suspicious deaths and determines a regulation designed to keep the resident alive and safe was not followed due to facility negligence, and the negligence was the leading cause that resulted in the death of that resident. Currently, the law says it must be a direct proximate cause of the death, which is a standard that has been rejected by the California Supreme Court because it is a confusing standard. The burden of proof is still on the department to substantiate the citation, and recent amendments requires the violation be a foreseeable result given the facts and circumstances and that the occurrence was tied to a regulatory violation. With these recent amendments and a number of concessions made prior to this committee hearing, we have removed opposition from the California Health Facility Association, California Hospital Association, Developmental Services Network, and Leading Age California. And additionally, AB 506 adopts state auditor recommendations to increase long-term care facility citation amounts, which have not changed in 8 years. The increases in penalty amount closely reflect the Consumer Price Index as requested by industry. It is critically important to ensure bad-performing skilled nursing facilities and other long-term care facilities are held accountable for their actions, especially when we're talking about the facility's negligence was responsible for a resident's death. The department takes extreme care in applying these citations, and the primary use is to place a bad-performing facility on watch so that the quality of the care can be improved for future residents. The intent is not to close down these facilities. AB 506 is critically important to protecting the health and safety of the thousands of aged, developmentally disabled, other medically vulnerable residents by holding accountable those few bad actors found to be responsible for a resident's harm or death. With me to provide supporting testimony is Maria Eva Garcia, who lost her mother due to negligence in nursing home care, and Kurt Childs from Disability Rights, California.
Okay, thank you. Witnesses support.
Good afternoon, Chairman Pan, and all of you on the Senate Health Committee. Thank you for your dedicated service to the people of this great state, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to testify today on this important legislation before you. Senator Pan, my testimony today seems noteworthy to me as I am thankful to live in your district and to be your constituent. I also want to thank Senator Grove for representing my hometown of Visalia, where my mother lived, my mother raised her family, and where my mother took her last breath. Thank you to my brother and sisters from Visalia here today in strong support of AB 506. My name is Maria Eva Garcia. I stand here today not only to talk about an amazing Mexican woman, mi mamá, Maria de Garcia, but to be her voice and the voice for thousands of disabled residents and hundreds whom have lost their lives due to lack of proper care. My mother was born in Mexico April 26, 1936, and died on September 4, 2017. On February 2017, my mother suffered a massive stroke that left her with brain damage. A week later, her doctor came to me, told me, "Your mom will not recover much movement on her left side of her body." Terrified, my response was, "You mean she'll be paralyzed for the rest of her life?" Doctor said yes. My mother was a strong, independent woman, scared and confused after her massive stroke. She was extremely devastated, worried she would no longer be able to be here for her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. She became very determined to overcome. She repeated to me many times, "No me quiero morir. I do not want to die." In March of 2017, after long thought, we, her 9 children, decided to admit her to Redwood Springs Healthcare Facility, a long-term healthcare facility in Visalia, with hopes of recovery and bringing her back home. Weeks passed, we came to understand that the brain damage she had suffered had very much disabled her, a strong, proud woman in diapers and in a wheelchair. On August 29, 2017, a nurse at Redwood Springs assisted my mother out of her wheelchair and left her unattended on a commode chair. Left alone and without the ability to support or control her own body, mi mamá fell head first onto the hard tile floor without anything to break her fall. She sustained massive head injuries, resulting in numerous stitches and bruising. 6 days later, the woman I've known all my life to be a hardworking neighbor died on Labor Day. It took large amounts of makeup on a beautiful woman who never wore makeup to cover the 9-stitch wound and massive bruises on the left side of her face in order to give my family and I a chance to say goodbye with an open casket. Sad, right? Today you have the power to change this confusing law. Today I am begging you, please vote yes on AB 506. On behalf of me, Mama, and thousands of disabled residents, let's change this law that has created confusion for many years and make a difference. My mom did not want to die. My mom did not deserve to die this way. Hoy ustedes tienen el poder de cambiar esta confusión que ha existido por muchos años. Por favor, les ruego, voten sí a AB 506. Gracias.
Thank you.